What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to do my full review on the new exhaust system that I have on my 2020 Toyota Supra. So this is the Magnaflow Xmod exhaust for the A90 Supra. It is a really impressive exhaust. I'm already going to go ahead and say that I am super impressed with it. I'll have the installation video down below. The really cool thing about this exhaust, you can mix and match it. So one side, when the valve is closed, can also be turned into a straight pipe. So once the valve is then opened, I have a straight pipe in the back portion of it, so the car is pretty much straight piped when the valve is open in sport mode. And then on the other side of the exhaust, when the opposite side is closed, that side has a resonator muffler in it, which makes it sound really cool. So first and foremost, we're going to give you a listen to what it sounds like revving in sport mode and normal mode. This exhaust utilizes the factory valve, so using the actual car sport mode button, I can go between valve opened and closed. It is a big difference between the two modes, and I am really loving it. And on top of that, this system also uses carbon fiber exhaust tips. As you can see, we got dry carbon around the entire exhaust tip. Moving to the other side out of my shadow, you can get a really good look. It's pretty unique. You don't really normally see exhaust systems like this. And then as far as the fitment goes, everything is lined up really nice. And then if we go ahead and take a look underneath the exhaust just to see the construction, the valve is sitting over on this side, which is all part of the factory valve. Then I have my straight pipe, which is interchangeable. The kit comes with resonators that I can put here if I'd like. And then up top here, we have another piece that is actually really for drone. So this extra muffler piece, which is welded onto the straight pipe, that eliminates all the drone. And then there is the resonator for my quiet side coming out to the tip. And then it's nicely tucked underneath the car, which makes it to where it's nice and flush so you don't have any clearance issues. But now we're gonna rev up the car, start it up, and hear it in the stock mode, which all the exhaust will be coming out of the left side. And then when the valve is opened, this side opens up, and then we're straight piped. So that's a quick sound clip of this car idling and then revving, normal mode versus sport mode. Definitely a big difference. It's much deeper sounding when it's straight piped, and then really nice and conservative sounding, but still aggressive in normal mode. So I'm gonna do a conservative acceleration in normal versus sport, just so you can kind of feel it out. Then we'll put some GoPros on it and then hop inside and talk more. Starting off right now in normal mode, automatic. This is the most conservative setting right now. So with this mode, one thing really neat to think about as we think of the science around how the exhaust sounds work, when that valve is closed, there is still like 5 feet of piping that technically the sound waves that are coming through the exhaust can travel down and bounce back. And I think that is a big reason why this exhaust is actually extremely quiet when the valve is closed. Even though I am a straight pipe car, there's no cats in this car, complete callous downpipe. The only bit of muffler is the little resonator on the left side that is always like that. So I think that other pipe being there is actually helping to muffle the left side, because right now we're in 8th gear and you just don't hear anything. I'm going 50 miles an hour, and it is super quiet and comfortable, giving it a little bit of gas. You can hear it. The car isn't quiet in stock, but it has a good tone to it. When you are cruising, it's just nothing annoying or anything like that. I love how the stock mode in this car sounds just as quiet as stock, but it does have a good tone to it where it actually sounds performance-y and has that fun factor. If I go in manual, just downshifting, you know, you still get a good tone. So I like how you get the tone, you get the fun aggression, but it tones down all the way when you're in low RPM, and it's a quiet stock car pretty much. Now when you go into sport mode, the valve opens noticeably. I hope the camera can hear it, but you can totally hear the exhaust now making a sound. And then when you are in sport mode, of course, this does change some of the engine tuning, so you get the gurgles and pops on the exhaust, things like that, and the throttle response is much quicker, so the exhaust sound comes on quicker. But we'll get up to a speed and just kind of do before and afters when cruising. But it is noticeably way, way louder, and I love that difference between closed and open. Having the two tones of the exhaust sound, the closed and then open valve, it just adds the fun factor with the car, because when you're in normal mode, you get a nice comfortable car, and yet it still sounds performance-y. But then when you're in sport mode, it's straight pipe. The car is straight pipe now, and it has a really good tone. And the thing that really, really impresses me on that passenger side, that extra muffler that has a closed end that's welded onto it, what that does basically, it takes those exhaust waves, the sound waves, it goes into that and back out, and I think that cancels itself out to where the drone is gone. And that's the thing I'm really, really impressed with, how right now half of the exhaust is going down that side, the other half is still going on the stock side. But even though there's no muffler, that extra piece there, it just takes the drone out. We're going 50 miles an hour right now at 1800 RPM. And you just don't hear anything. There's nothing in your head. There's not that deep bass, that annoying drone that I hate. I will never own a car with an annoying drone. It ruins the experience for me. And I really am impressed with how that is. So we'll get into 8th gear at 55. So I'm cruise control right now. And this is valve open. You just don't hear anything. And going into quiet mode, you still don't hear anything. So I love how, whether you're rolling straight pipe or not, you don't actually hear it when just cruising. Just barely, now that we're going up a hill, just barely. But I love that. So I'll keep it at 55. I'll go to the lower gear. So we're at 3,000 RPM, and this is flat ground right now. Quiet mode now. And that's where you hear, it goes so much quieter. Valve open. I don't think the camera's gonna pick that up, but there's a big difference. And then back into just normal mode right now when you are cruising and even giving it some gas, even if you are driving in manual and doing some performance driving. You still get the pops on the upshifts. My car is tuned, so given that in the downpipe, it's kind of gonna do that most of the time. If you are on the gas, it's always gonna pop between shifts. That's normal mode. You can probably hear the difference in tone. But my overall review of the Magnaflow exhaust, I genuinely am impressed with how quiet it can be, and yet it's just one little muffler. And the fact that you can interchange them, you could make it completely straight piped. I would be interested to see, and for those of you who do have this exhaust, if you're running mufflers on both sides or straight pipes on both sides, does the valve open and close do anything? Because I feel like it'll still be quieter even if you have two straight pipes, because the exhaust gas is still going to go through one side, hit the plate, bounce back, and kind of cancel out the exhaust tone. So I think just the technology in it is really, really impressive. Kind of geeking out a little bit, I guess, behind the science of it, but I'm really liking it. It sounds good. The carbon fiber tips look really cool as well. And then the overall installation, now that I've installed it, I did spend this morning about an hour or so just kind of fine-tuning the actual fitment of it. The V-bands make it very easy to adjust everything. And all I had to do was loosen all the V-bands once again and just twist pipes a little bit just to make them line up better, because I did have it hitting the metal cross brace a little bit, but then aligning it a little bit better, taking more time to do that. I got it aligning perfect, the tips are fitting perfect, everything went together exactly the way you would think. So I'm impressed with it, but the sound again, because that's what you're going to experience every time you're using it. We're back into normal mode, and you just don't hear it. And another thing, the cold start in the morning. This car does a legit cold start where it idles a lot higher than normal cars do. My previous setup was very loud and had a higher pitched tone. This car is a lot quieter under cold start, and it has a much deeper tone. So I'm liking the difference in sound. I'm used to the previous setup for almost a year, so it's time to change it up a little bit, try something new. But I am really liking it. I love the sound. We'll do a few more blasts and then wrap up the video. We'll do a normal mode acceleration. We'll go down into third gear. Sport mode now. Noticeably way louder, and I love that. I love the two tones. It's just so sick. Alright, so we are coming up to a bridge, and this might make some fun sounds. Windows down. Wow. And that's valve open. We'll tone it down. Oh man. Alright, so that I think is my review of the Magnaflow Xmod exhaust. I love the interchangeableness to it. I like the fitment. The sound is amazing before and after, or I should say valve open and close has a really good sound. It's pretty much exactly what I could have asked for this system. I love the Valvetronic system I have on the GTR, so now to have the Supra with an active exhaust now, I like it. I like the blend of it. Super quiet and then super awesome sounding, still with no drone, so it's awesome. So anyways, that's going to wrap up today's video. I'll have Magnaflow's website in the description. Check it out. I would highly recommend it. And if you guys enjoyed the video, as I run over a bunch of rocks, give the video a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next video.